Today I will be teaching you how to model a gear in PTC Creo. So once you open the application, first you're going to click New, and then make sure that part is highlighted or checked here. And then you can name the part whatever you would like. So I'm just going to name this gear 2, and then click OK. And then this will bring you to a window to be able to start extruding your project. So if you just get a blank screen like this, you can go up to this datum display filters button. If you click on that and just say select all, you'll get some of the reference points that you need. It might automatically do this, depends on what the last session you had looked like. So if you're following along in the directions, we're now going to be starting the sketching the fundamental gear shape section. So first you're going to click extrude, and then you can click really any of these planes. I'm going to choose this plane. Any of them will work. And then if you go up to this sketch view button up in the upper left hand corner, it will rotate it so it looks like you're drawing 2D, which will be a lot easier to realize and figure out what you're doing. So first we're going to make the circle shape, and here's the circle tool. So if you click that once and you come to the center and you click once there and then drag your cursor out, you create this circle. And if you click again, it will stay in one place. And if you want to make your concentric circles, as you can see in the written directions, you come to the center again and make a smaller circle on the inside. It really doesn't matter how precise you are because you are just going to be changing the dimensions anyway. So in order to get out of the circle tool, click the roller on your mouse once. And as you can see, this shaded region means that it's all enclosed, and you could extrude it right now if you wanted to, and it would work just fine. But first, I'd like to change the dimensions. So this dimension right here is for this inside circle diameter, and this dimension out here is for the outer circle. So I'll change the inner one first. I'm just going to change that to 5. And I will now change the outer one, and I'll just make that 25. You can use any dimensions you'd like. These are just easy numbers, and you can make your gear as big or small as you'd want. So then when you are happy with how it looks, you can click the OK check mark, and you're good to go. As you can see here, it's kind of a big cylindrical shape, and you probably don't want it that the length that long. So if you come up here where it says 216.51, I'm just going to change that to 10 and then click enter, and your length is changed. So that looks more like what you are looking for when you're making a gear. So if you're happy with your design, then you can just go ahead and click this green check mark button. So again, if you're looking at the written instructions as well, we're now on step 17, making the teeth of our gear. So then you're going to extrude again. Now it wants to ask where you want to extrude this off of, and we want to extrude off of this front plane here, this front face of your cylinder. So if you click that, the green shaded region, and then you want to go ahead and click the sketch view button again. And again, it brings you to this 2D object. So this is your references button up here right above the sketch view button. If you click that, you can then reference the outside of your circle. So now we're going to be using this line tool up here. If you can see my mouse. And we're going to be making the teeth. So we will use 4 different lines and 1 arc to complete this. So first you're just going to create 4 lines. You can see here that once you get the L over both line segments on the top, that means they are equal length, which is what we'd like to see. And then you can just finish this off. It doesn't have to be very precise since we will be making sure those are equal after done with that. So you can click the roller button on your mouse again. And if you click it again, you will completely get out of your line tool. So as you can see, it added in a bunch of dimensions for me, which we don't really care about too many of them at this point. We do want to make sure that this line and this line are equal, so we have a symmetrical tooth. We will be doing this by using the equal button right here. And if you just click right there and right there, the two lines, it'll probably give you an error message. That just means that you chose a wrong point right away because you weren't exactly sure where to go. So this is something that we did, which is when we started this line segment on this part of the circle. So we can just delete that to make sure that they're equal. So now this L2 and L2 means those are equal, and this L1 here and L1 here means that those are equal. And now since there are two red dots, it means that this is not fully enclosed, so we could not be finished at this point. So of course we want to enclose that, so we'll use the arc tool. So just click once on the arc and then click once on each endpoint and then once in the middle, and you will get an arc. And then again, to get out of the arc tool, you will click the roller button on your mouse. And as you can see, it's now shaded, so if that's how we wanted it to look, we could extrude it and everything would be fine. But we want it to look a little bit better. So if you just click and drag this arc, you can make it match the edge of the circle, which is what we would like it to do. And the other thing I'm going to change is this dimension right here. So you can either use the normal tool and click each endpoint and then roller click in the middle and it will give you the dimension, or you could have just double clicked the original dimension. I'm just going to change this to 1 so that it is a little bit easier when we pattern in the next step. I'm just going to click this green check mark OK button. And then it should be good, but just to make sure, well, we do want this to be 10 so it matches our other width. But if you roller click in the middle and drag your mouse, you can see, you can change the view. As you can see, this is not what a gear looks like. So if we go up here and click this button, it will change the direction of our extrude. So if you click it, it goes in the direction we would like. So now it's starting to look more like a gear. So yours might turn out where it's going the right direction, but if it's not, you can always just click this button right here. So now I'm going to click the green check mark. So now we have one tooth on our gear. So if you come over, and we want to make teeth all the way around the outside, and instead of drawing each one individually, we can use a pattern function that you can use in Creo. So if you come over to the left here and click on the extrude 2 and make sure that it's highlighted, and then come up to the pattern button. If you click the pattern button, it'll bring you to this page, and we want to pattern this around an axis, the center axis of our gear here. So if you zoom in and kind of play with the angle a little bit, you can see that this axis is going directly through the middle, which is what we'd like to pattern around. So as you can see here, up here our quantity is 4, and there are 4 black dots around the outside. And we're going to change that to 20, or however many teeth you want on your gear. And then this button right here will automatically space out your teeth evenly. So if you click that button, you now have 20 teeth around the outside, and you can see they're all evenly spaced at the correct angle. So if this is how we want to see it, and if you had clicked the wrong axis originally, it would be in a different orientation, so you'd know that you had a mistake there. So then you can click the green button if this is correct, if yours is correct. So now we have a gear. Then when you want to put this in a drawing, you will just click File and then New. And then if you click the drawing, that will bring you to the right place. And you can name this drawing whatever you want. I'll just call it a drawing of gear. It doesn't really like spaces all that much, so try to name it something simple maybe. Then just click OK. And all of these default settings are correct and will give you what you want, so you can just click OK again. And as you can see, we now have a drawing. As you can see, it's kind of messy with all of the different datums and axes in here. So if you go up here and just deselect all, then you have a clean looking gear. This is your front view and your right view and your top view. And that is how you make a gear and put it in a drawing in Creo.